This video is sponsored by Curio. Curio is an NFT platform running on the Ethereum blockchain. And throughout the month of June, it is running its Motel America collection from the TV show American Gods. So let's go and check it out. So this is actually the second collection from American Gods. American Gods, the original fantasy book from Neil Gaiman, now a TV show for Amazon and Starz. And there are these characters dropping in various prices and scarcity models. And if you collect them all, there is also a bonus NFT that you will get. Of course, this is an NFT platform, so even if some of those have dropped and you haven't got them, we can head over to the exchange and we can start to see what is available there. Some of the other fandoms that Curio has been involved with, we can see Scott Pilgrim, Heavy Metal, Concrete Park, and also we can kind of check by pricing, and we can go and have a look at American Gods and we can kind of see what prices are being attracted by these NFTs. So if you're interested in stuff like American Gods, Scott Pilgrim, those sort of kind of graphic novel IPs, check out Curio, and thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So this is a community roundup email that's come from Yield Guild Games, which I always have a bit of a problem saying, Yield Guild Games. This is sort of a, one of the kind of emerging stories, I think, of 2021. Not one that really gets talked about that much. I think it is conceptually a bit difficult for people to get their head around, but actually it is also conceptually the very heart of what blockchain gaming can allow. So a little bit about kind of what Yield Guild Gaming is. So it is a sort of a community, really. It is effectively like started out as a guild based around Axie Infinity, still mainly based around Axie Infinity. And it sort of came about because, kind of a few reasons, but one of which is to play Axie Infinity, you need to have 3 Axies. And the price of Axies still is actually quite expensive, although now Axies rolled out its Ronin kind of L2 solution. So over time that will sort of, I guess, allow people to breed at a slightly cheaper rate than it was happening on Ethereum mainnet, which is the main problem. But basically, Yield Guild came around because people who had a lot of Axies started to kind of effectively rent them out, and then now they're having like kind of formal scholarship programs where people can borrow assets in the Axies game and then use that to play the game, and then they get obviously the percentage, a percentage of the revenue that they generate. So it's very much into the kind of play to earn sort of thesis here. And Yield Guild, partly because one of the main founders there, Gabby, who I've had on my podcast a few times, is from the Philippines, and when COVID kind of kicked in, the Philippines was like lots of places, developing countries, kind of badly hit, and Axie has been kind of a very useful way of generating revenue, or generating salary, really, for people who've otherwise been in kind of economic difficulties. So that was sort of the underlying kind of starting point for Yield Guild, and there's been quite a lot of kind of writing about how Axie Infinity is kind of helping people in these kind of developing countries. There's been a documentary on YouTube about it as well, so this is kind of quite well known. But what's interesting now is how Yield Guild is sort of developing into a slightly sort of larger beast. It's not just Axie Infinity. It's not just sort of a charitable organisation. It is becoming sort of a sort of component of the blockchain game sector, and even in terms of kind of investment as well. And this is partly because it has a certain amount of kind of value locked into the system, because people are lending lending the guild their own Axies. So that provides the kind of like the I suppose the sort of capital, or the I don't know what the right terms are, the goods, obviously NFTs, to kind of create economic value in the system, and that also means they're sort of earning revenue. So I think some revenue goes back to the Yield Guild as well. But the main thing is they have a lot of players now. So they have thousands of players who are playing these games. And one key thing that blockchain games don't have a lot of at the moment is players. So if you have the Yield Guild with let's say 10,000 players playing Axie Infinity, if you can take some of those across to new games, that's very valuable to seed those new games with a group of committed people who are playing them out. And I think Yield Guild also has some money as well, so it's sort of coming in an investment level into sort of 2 levels, and it certainly is. We'll see in this email, starting to acquire particularly land NFTs. So headline stuff with them is all about Axie Infinity. So they now have 11 million smooth love potions, as we have to now call them. Smooth love potions is the kind of utility token within Axie Infinity. So you earn that for winning battles, and then you use that to breed new axes. So have over 1,000 Axie scholars. This is kind of formal system they have, and they have earned over 1.4 million. So obviously, if you earn your SLP, you can sell it off. Keep it if you want, or kind of do other things with it. But you can kind of sell it off for fiat, which is obviously what a lot of these people are doing in the early stages. So now the release of the Ronin sidechain allows Axie to operate at a level with much lower gas fees, and so they're going to look to go from 1,000 to 10,000 of these scholars, and these are people who are learning about Axie, obviously become part of the community, obviously earning real revenue as well. This is the documentary I spoke about. Play to earn NFT gaming in the Philippines. Worth checking that out. Now, some other games that the Yield Guild is getting involved with. So League of Legends, as we'll say that. League of Kingdoms. So they're actually the 6th biggest alliance in League of Kingdoms. So here they are here. So up to 100 members here. And you can see the sort of power dynamics. Still playing a bit of League of Kingdoms myself. I'm not sure how the kind of level I'm playing at, how sort of interesting it is, but it seems like there is at the top end, because you can earn. It's, again, obviously, like every blockchain game has play to earn mechanics, but with this one you can earn land and then earn a percentage of the economic value that's being created on that land. So there's kind of a feedback mechanism here. So it's interesting that the Yield Guild is big in there. They did actually buy a lot of land in one of the land sales. So we have also Guild of Guardians. So this is a new game coming out, running on the Mutable X blockchain, sort of sidechain, and they've just done a pre-sale mainly for their guilds. So we can see here there were 10 mythical guild NFTs, and they bought one of those. I'm trying to remember what the price was. Was it $80,000, something like that? Could be wrong on that, but that sort of level. So they sort of bought one of those, and they bought 70 legendary hero summoned NFTs. So when this game goes live, particularly for the community around Yield Guild gaming, is they're very mobile focused. So Axie Infinity play on mobile. League of Kingdoms is actually a mobile game. Guild of Guardians is also going to be a mobile kind of focused game as well. So I don't think kind of Yield Guild could kind of be playing, say, Blancos at the moment, because that's a PC game, and the players there just don't have access to the kind of PCs. So very mobile focused. Ember Sword that did its first land sale, as I said here, was like a little bit didn't quite go as planned, but they've managed to buy their land here as well. So this is what you say, kind of starting to see this sort of organisation that sort of came out of trying to fulfil real kind of financial economic need a year ago, and a sort of blockchain has allowed that to evolved to becoming more than just sort of a charitable thing where people potentially sort of giving money, and people are accepting that money. Now this is much more about I guess what we kind of hope to see with sort of developmental aid in general, that people are being given the tools to then go off and sort of take control of the agency in their own lives and own stuff. But even more than that, because of the way that the blockchain holds this stuff together, there's a it's a decentralized autonomous organization. So the people who are doing this work are earning stuff out, but they're also providing value back into the guild. And some of them, not I don't know the full details of this, but there's I think a token. The idea of there's a sort of a NFT they can earn to become part of the guild itself, and then their work is actually kind of kickstarting the whole value of Yield Guild. And obviously there's lots of games, and people are going to over time focus on different sort of games. So you can kind of imagine, it is I think a really powerful and really positive kind of project that's going on, and it does kind of show a lot about how blockchain can kind of build things in a way that'd be very difficult to do without blockchains, and particularly part of that is the financial reward, clearly, but not just that. So anyway, worth checking out what's going on with Yield Guild. Thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where we're really looking at what's going on, and it's not just about games. It's about these underlying kind of concepts and underlying organisations that are being built around games. And I think in the long term, while the focus is always remains on the high value items and such like, actually building these kind of systems, these organizations, is going to be the really powerful bit, certainly in gaming and also kind of more widely. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.